Friends, welcome back to the another episode of Mega Mark Interview Lecture Series. In this lecture, let us see what are all the other possibilities of questions that can be asked from transformer in any interview. Once again, after watching any of these video lectures, I am recommending you all to practice as many times as possible. Assume that there are an interviewers sitting in front of you and they are raising the question in the similar way that I am asking you, and you assume that you are explaining well in the same way that I am explaining for you. I am requesting you all to go through the previous videos that is also available on playlist. Now let us enter into the next interview question without wasting our time. Here if you observe, there are so many questions that can be asked from a transformer. Now, if you start from the basics, you might be very well aware of all the fundamental basic questions, but we will be missing to listen to some part of the small concepts when we are learning the basics. Suppose if an interviewer asking what is leakage flux in transformer. Let us say one of you people is appearing in front of the interviewer and trying to explain the answer for this question. When the moment he is asking what is leakage flux in transformer, immediately what you should think. You think about the transformer, how a transformer will look like and what we studied about the transformer. He is asking about leakage flux in transformer. What you have to say, when we are thinking about leakage flux, there are two fluxes that we might have studied in our transformer. What are those? One is called main flux and another one is called leakage flux. What is the difference between main flux and leakage flux? As you are seeing on the screen, a transformer is visible. In the transformer, we are having two sides. One is called the primary side and another one is called the secondary side. Now, on the primary side, you can observe we are having a supply voltage. Now, from the supply voltage, we are passing the current. From the current, flux will be coming. All the flux lines are traveling to secondary side without any leakage. You can observe in that rectangular ferromagnetic core, all the flux lines are happily traveling between primary and the secondary side. These flux is basically what we are calling it as useful flux. So you have to explain these things to the interviewer in an extraordinary way by drawing a transformer in the similar way that I have drawn. Then you have to show that okay, whenever we are giving supply on the primary side, it will take some amount of current, then from that current flux will be produced, that flux will be started traveling into the core. That is what we are calling it as main flux or useful flux. So useful flux is something which is linking the primary side and the secondary side. Now you can observe once again something appear on your screen. On this screen you can see in the transformer, in the same way we are giving supply voltage on the primary side. V1 is our supply voltage. It is giving some rated required current in the transformer to set up the rated flux. That current is what we are calling it as magnetizing current, that is represented as I mu. In the last video I have clearly demonstrated why this magnetizing current is coming and what it is doing in our transformer. So with the help of this magnetizing current, now you can observe on the screen there are two set of flux has been distributed. One flux which is traveling between primary and secondary side. There are some flux which is just traveling on primary side itself. Where this flux is traveling, if you see the practical transformer, these flux lines are just traveling through the transformer oil and through the insulating medium of the transformer. They are not reaching the secondary side. They will be coming from the primary side. They are just traveling through the insulating mediums and they are again coming back. They are not reaching the secondary side. These flux is what we are calling it as leakage flux. So what you have to do, you have to demonstrate by developing the diagram in the same way, and you can show that if the flux lines are just linking between primary and secondary, those flux lines are called useful flux. If the flux lines are just traveling through the insulating medium of the transformer, then those flux lines are called leakage flux lines. So your interviewer will be so happy with this. Now the thing is, after that your interviewer will think what type of question that we can ask immediately so that we can trap her. So you will be start thinking about this and you will be explaining, okay, your answer is correct. Now I am asking, is this leakage flux is contributing in transformer loss? You should immediately think, okay, we have studied about transformer flux leakage. Whether we have considered this leakage parameter in any of the transformer losses calculations. As we know, in transformer there are two type of major losses. One is core loss and another one is copper loss. These two losses we are considering to calculate the efficiency of the transformer. Now you have to think, okay, there are two type of major losses in our transformer. One is core loss and another one is copper loss. To calculate the core loss, we will be considering the voltage, current, thickness, volume, frequency and certain constant factors that you might be already knowing. In core loss there are two types. One is hysteresis loss and another one is eddy current loss. In both of these losses we are also considering some constant factors. I hope you know these things. So next, second thing is copper loss. Now if you see, in copper loss we are considering only current and resistance offered by the copper windings. So what is the conclusion here? In order to calculate the core loss and copper loss of the transformer, we are not considering the leakage parameter anywhere. So after thinking this in your mind, what will be your answer? You have to immediately explain, no sir, the leakage flux of the transformer is not contributing in losses. If it is not contributing in losses, then what you can say, it is not contributing in transformer losses. Just you stop with that. Don't say anything beyond that. Then your interviewer will think, okay, what to ask. She is immediately saying that, okay, it is not contributing in transformer losses. Okay, that is fine. Now he will ask, then why we are considering this leakage flux? Cannot be simply ignored. If you see, when you are studying the transformer concepts, they are considering the leakage fluxes at many different places. So when the interviewer asking, as you are saying that it is not contributing in transformer losses, then why we have to consider? Again, you have to think and you have to explain. Yes, leakage fluxes is not contributing in transformer losses, so it is not affecting the efficiency of the transformer. But is there any other issues? You should think and tell. Yes, sir, leakage flux is not contributing in transformer losses, but what it is doing? You can consider, with the leakage flux, we are calculating reactance. Yes. Then from that, what we are doing? We are calculating voltage drop. Then from voltage drop, what we are calculating? You can recollect. Yes, we are calculating voltage regulation. That is one of the important parameter. Can you see it on the screen? We are considering four important parameters. That is leakage flux, followed by reactance, followed by voltage drop, followed by voltage regulation. To calculate the voltage regulation, one of the most important parameter that we are considering in transformer is voltage regulation. So the leakage flux is majorly affecting the voltage drop. That is, if it is more, then the voltage drop will be more. Then it will be the important parameter which is affecting the voltage regulation of the transformer. So we cannot ignore this. Now here I am asking you another important questions from my side. That is, okay, in transformer we are considering the leakage flux to calculate the voltage regulation. Is there, if you are having other rotating machines, like if you are having induction machine or if you are having synchronous machine, what type of answers you will be giving? Because transformer is a static device. So in transformer, we are considering only voltage regulation. So whenever we are talking about leakage flux, majorly our thinking will be directly focused on voltage regulation. Okay, leakage flux will be more, then the drop will be more, then the voltage regulation will be severely affected. That is how we are thinking in transformer. My question is, what about other rotating machines? You can post your answer in the comment section. Now your interviewer will be so happy. Yes, well said. Let's move on to the next question. So in the next lecture, I will be coming up with another most important interview question that can be repeatedly asked. Till now, what is my suggestion is, I am requesting you to watch all the video lectures that I am uploading, which will be available on interview playlist. You can check it in our playlist. Finally, after watching all these videos, I hope you will be performing well in the interview, and definitely your name will be appeared in the final list. And don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you all.